Hey everyone, my name is Rohit, and today I'll be taking you on a tour of the Purdue Engineering campus. Starting off with a popular Purdue landmark, here on our left is the iconic Purdue Bell Tower, a beloved structure that can be seen from the majority of both academic and residential campus. The current walkway we are on is what I like to call the Highway of Purdue, indicative of all the students that you can see walking through here in between classes on any given weekday. Due to the student traffic, it's a great spot for student clubs and organizations to set up shop and attract student interest. Overall, a great place to be if you're looking for something to get involved in. The building we are now entering is the Wilmouth Active Learning Center, also known as WALC. This building is the most popular study space on campus, in part due to it being a unique building that's open 24/7 for any and all students to take advantage of. WALC is a great intersection of both socialization as well as productivity, which can be seen through the collaborative seating arrangements that can be found throughout the building, designed with teamwork in mind. A great place to study with friends. The building does also have a reading room on the second floor that maintains complete silence. Can be a good place to help students focus. Second floor also has an extensive computer lab, and printers can be found throughout the building for 24/7 student use. As we exit WALC, the building in front of us will be the Potter Engineering Center. Home to the Environmental and Ecological Engineering Department, Potter is also where both electrical computer engineers as well as mechanical engineers will often have their sophomore and junior level lab classes. The next stop on our tour is the Mechanical Engineering Building with a specific section we are now entering, known as the Gatewood Atrium. Completed in 2011, the atrium is a LEED certified space built with sustainability and efficiency in mind, indicated in part by its heavy use of natural lighting. Throughout the atrium, you can also see elements that pay homage to our history as Boilermakers, with great examples being the locomotives that can be seen in glass cases, as well as the train tracks that are embedded into the floor that we are currently walking along. Over here, these glass cases house projects from the mechanical engineering toy design class, an elective that can actually be taken by a student from any engineering discipline, where students get to set their imaginations loose and design and build a toy of their choice, utilizing a variety of modeling and design skills, with many of the toys also having electronic components. As we head out of the mechanical engineering building, we will be walking out onto Engineering Mall, named appropriately so as it is home to a large portion of the engineering buildings on the Purdue campus. The heart of Engineering Mall is the engineering fountain in front of us, also a centerpiece of the Purdue Fountain Run, which is a Purdue tradition that takes place at the end of incoming freshman orientation week, also known popularly as Boiler Gold Rush, where all incoming students get to run through this fountain as well as a series of other fountains alongside the rest of their incoming class to signify the start of their time on campus as Boilermakers. Looking around, you'll see the mechanical engineering building that we walked out of, material sciences and electrical engineering building over in the distance, as well as the Forney Hall of chemical engineering behind these larger green trees as we go around the engineering fountain. That over there is the material sciences and electrical engineering building. That is once again the Forney Hall of Chemical Engineering. And the engineering fountain also oftentimes serves as staging ground for fundraisers, recruitment events ran by student organizations, along with an active student community. A lot of these spaces are used by companies that come to campus looking to recruit Purdue talent, with over 1,200 different employers coming to campus every year looking to hire Boilermakers for internships, co-ops, and full-time positions alike. This really speaks volumes on Purdue's reputation for developing engineers that are industry ready and prepared to make an impact. The next stop on our tour will be the Hampton Hall of Civil Engineering, with civil engineering being one of the two original engineering majors at Purdue, alongside mechanical engineering. As we head into the building, I do like to take this time to highlight special opportunities offered at Purdue that allow students to study, intern, or research abroad. also giving students a lot of flexibility on whether they want to do so for a few weeks, a semester, or even multiple semesters on end. Such programs oftentimes serve as a highlight for many engineering students and can also give them a perspective on engineering's role as a worldwide discipline, expose them to different cultures and also experiences. As we go through some of these civil engineering classrooms, this room that we get to look at on the left is a transport engineering traffic lab where students analyze traffic flow and also perform simulations while often considering ways to implement the research improvements right back onto the Purdue campus. They also work with the Indiana Department of Transportation. And yes, that is in fact a life-size traffic light. They're much bigger close up. This space up here has a very unique waterfall that is actually utilized in the hydraulics and hydrology lab. And then showcased on this banner up here are the different offered concentrations within civil engineering that help you curate your electives and lab classes to a specific subject matter or field that you're interested in pursuing. Many other engineering disciplines also have concentrations, and I personally have chosen to pursue the concentration of semiconductors and microelectronics that's offered in my major of electrical engineering, as I believe it'll help me develop a more specific skill set to go with a semiconductor oriented role in the future. As we do walk away from the Hall of Civil Engineering, we're faced by the physics building right there, on our way to our next stop, which is the Armstrong Hall of Engineering, home to the Aero and Astro Engineering Department, as well as the Materials Engineering Department. As we walk past all of these bike racks and enter the Neil Armstrong Hall of Engineering, you will notice that once again there's going to be a lot of group-oriented study and workspaces that will be scattered across the ground floor of the building. So some coming up right in front of us right here as we do go in. Turning this corner on the left, you will also see lab spaces for the EPICS, or Engineering Projects and Community Service First Year Engineering Program, used by students to work on a variety of different engineering projects serving the local community. Throughout this program, students also get the opportunity to work in large groups in a very project-oriented manner, similar to an internship, with each student having their own sub-team or role specialization, working to deliver their own components to help further the team's progress as a whole. My freshman year, I had the opportunity to take up a leadership position as the design lead of my EPICS team with the goal of converting a gasoline-powered go-kart to fully electric. We were hoping that through developing a set of instructions to do so, we could help schools in Indiana find a cheaper alternative to buying EV go-karts to allow them to participate in electrical go-kart Grand Prix competitions. As we do enter the atrium section of the building, you can see hanging from the ceiling a replica of the Apollo 1 capsule that is on loan to us from a museum in Kansas, once intended to be piloted by Boilermaker astronauts. We are, after all, the cradle of astronauts of 27 graduated astronauts and counting. Up here, you'll see the experimental aircraft that was piloted by Neil Armstrong himself before he became the first man to walk on the moon. The rest of the upper floors of the Armstrong Hall house the Materials Engineering Department, as mentioned before, and also the Office of the Dean of Engineering, as well as a variety of different labs and smaller classrooms. This open atrium, as I was talking about industry relations earlier on, is a frequent landing spot for aerospace companies to come into campus to recruit, with over 1,200 different companies coming in to recruit engineering students throughout the year. For this exact reason, I always like to recommend to students that they always keep a few copies of their resumes handy just in case. Something like that is definitely a piece of advice that I personally benefited from during my time here on campus. As we walk on to our next stop, you'll notice that throughout Purdue's campus, there are clearly designated and separated bike lanes as well as pedestrian walkways to avoid any potential collisions and ensure pedestrian and cyclist safety. As we keep walking past, we head over to our next stop, which is the Material Sciences and Electrical Engineering building, the newest electrical and computer engineering building on campus. Similarly to the Mechanical Engineering building, this building, being a newer construction, also maintains a LEED certification for sustainability. It's also home to both the Electrical and Computer Engineering Advising and Administration offices. The ground floor also has a unique design studio that serves as workspace only accessible to students within the major. And then a notable place of interest for students is definitely this Starbucks right here. Heading into the next building, the Brown Hall of Electrical Engineering, you can see the recent renovations that have taken place and have added a lot of new study space for students to take advantage of. Another new addition is this lounge over here on the left, a student-run coffee and snack shop for a quick study break or energy boost. Walking along this hall, you can also see some more renovated state-of-the-art lab spaces that are used by students for computer and PCB design, as well as research in general. And then as we head down a little bit further, we'll be able to take a peek through this window and take a look at EE 129, which is one of the largest lecture halls on campus. This is oftentimes where students will have some of their larger first-year engineering classes, such as calculus and chemistry, that most students have to take. In addition to professors, however, there's also an extensive team of undergraduate and graduate teaching assistants that do help organize these courses and also host office hours throughout the week at various times, and even virtual office hours to help students get the help that they need. They also set up help rooms, such as one that you'll see as we round this corner, that run throughout the entire school day to assist students with particularly popular and large classes that are relevant to the major. This one specifically is for the Electrical and Computer Engineering Fundamentals class, EC 2001. Additionally, a lot of classes do offer supplemental instruction and also extra help sessions outside of class hours to both help you review material covered in class as well as prepare for exams in general. As we walk past some more lab spaces and instructional areas, we'll round this corner to see a special door that does lead down to a nuclear reactor. Yes, you did hear me right. That's a nuclear reactor. It's actually the only nuclear reactor in the entire state of Indiana. It's the first reactor in the country to have a completely state-of-the-art digital control system. It speaks to the investment that Purdue makes in research facilities. We do also have a particle accelerator in the basement of the physics building, as well as the largest academic jet propulsion lab in the entire nation just off of campus. There's a big focus on research, with Purdue being an R1 research institute with over $1 billion in research funding. As we exit the electrical engineering building, walk towards our final stop, we can take a moment to reorient ourselves and see that we're next to the Potter Engineering Center. And turning around, we'll be heading into the Gateway Complex, also known as the Dudley and Lambertus Halls. This is the new home of the first-year engineering department, as well as Nuclear Engineering and Polytech Institute. This building is the largest academic building on campus. And this large room right here is the Industrial Engineering Build at Scale Lab, one of the largest labs on campus, where students are able to focus on understanding the methodologies around advancements in manufacturing, such as Industry 4.0, and use really large pieces of equipment, such as a 5-ton bridge crane. Climbing the stairs to the third floor, we will be taking a quick look into the first-year engineering classrooms. As we do walk past them, I think it's very important to mention that there really is no such thing as a bad seat in a Purdue first-year engineering class, because really, regardless of wherever you sit, you're always going to be able to see the lecture material on any of the different TVs that are surrounding the class. Additionally, the professors are really good about using microphones connected to the sound system, so they're always easy to hear. And then you're also always surrounded by 2 to 3 other curious and passionate Purdue engineers. As we take a look in there, every single white surface in the rooms does also double as dry erase marker space to allow you to draw up sketches or solve equations with convenience and consult your classmates on problems you may encounter. So those are all the TVs mounted around, as well as the seating arrangements. In my experiences with first year engineering, large portion of the class time, rather than being traditional lecture, was actually time to solve practice problems with your teammates and collaborate on better solutions. The first year engineering classes also have a large focus on projects that really puts your critical thinking and teamwork skills to the test. And by the end of the semester, turns your team into a well-oiled machine. With our virtual tour drawing to a close, like to take a moment to thank our friends at the Office of Future Engineers and refer you to them as your one-stop shop for anything Purdue engineering related. That being said, to end off the tour, I'd like to share with you the reason why I chose Purdue. For me personally, it really came down to the opportunities that Purdue's been able to offer me through the duality of both being a very large college and also having a great engineering program. As a result, I've been able to take advantage of a lot of the other very interesting majors on campus, such as business and entrepreneurship, by pursuing minors in both. And this really goes hand in hand with the focus that I wanted to put on an interdisciplinary education when I was applying to universities. I've also been able to choose from a variety of different clubs and organizations to really customize my college experience and pick out what appeals the most to me, which in my case was providing prospective students with engineering campus tours through the Purdue Student Engineering Foundation. All of this paired with the curriculum focus on making sure that you develop relevant skills and learn how to actually apply what you're learning are the reason that I chose to be here today. I hope that through this virtual tour, you've gained a better understanding of the incredible resources and opportunities available to students here at Purdue. As you can see, Purdue engineers are supported by state-of-the-art facilities, a vibrant student community, and also countless ways to grow both academically as well as professionally. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you here on campus soon as fellow Boilermakers. Boiler up.